The most important is follow your dream, and it's not that easy, but you have to stick to it. That is the most important. Second is respect your client. Each and every client come to you with a lot of dreams. They come with a lot of faith. They come with a lot of, you know, ideas, and they come with as I've told you, their dream, which they are putting in front of you. So I believe we have to understand them, and we have to follow their dream, that how we can fulfill their dream. We as a designer are trustee of their dream and their money. And once we do that faithfully, honestly, I believe the project outcome is really good. And one more aspect is work with passion, work with that is a milestone project for you. And each of the project, when you actually take it like a milestone project, I believe the project is going to be successful. The success ratio project to project that differs. But first, if you satisfy yourself, I believe you can definitely satisfy to your client, and then rest of the world will be satisfied. So the most important is follow your dream. Future is bright for sure, because now people have understood the importance of interior designer and interior aspects. Many a time, people were doing work by themselves only, and they were looking on Pinterest, and they are actually trying to do an attempt by themselves. But now people have understood, in this particular time, people have more understood what is the value addition by a designer. So interior designer is not only for aesthetic, but interior designer is for adding the value in day-to-day life. And I always believe that as a designer, we are so responsible, because we are adding value to the life of, if we are doing house for anyone, we are actually influencing in their life for many years to come. If we are designing any commercial, we are influencing for many people who are actually approaching that areas, and get benefited through that areas. If we are designing any office, we are actually making a lot of value addition to their half of the life, because now people are spending almost half a day in their office, and they are actually doing efficient work within the environment what we are creating. So the importance of interior designer, or you can say the functional interior designer, I can put this little extra word, because earlier the interior decoration is one word and interior designing is another word. And I believe the decoration is a different story than a design, because design is not only aesthetic, but design is solving the problem. And when we put ourselves as a designer, we actually not only attending the aesthetic, but we attend the functional aspect of it, and which is actually adding a lot of value to the life. And day by day, people have understood the importance of such kind of designer. And the future is really, really bright for interior designer and profession, because people have understood the meaning of not the decoration, but the designing. And I believe the future is really bright, and more demand will be there in future. Most important is we normally have a lot of dialogue with the client. We understand the need, we understand their dream, we understand that what they are looking forward, and what is the need of the project. First, we evaluate our overall given subject, and then we normally keep ourselves open to any new ideas. So our practice in our office mostly is that we open up this any project which comes to us, we open up to few designers, and it's a kind of design competition kind of thing. So almost subjectively 2 3 or 4 5 designer attempt such kind of design, and along with a lot of conversation within us, we conceptualize that what we can do something little new, or something which is little different than what we have done earlier. Our priority is to keep our design very functional, but at the same time we normally try that what we can do little new, or little something which we can do something out of the box. And that is how we normally attempt each and every design. As I've told you, we are doing limited project at a time. We have little more time to breathing time, we can say, or we can have time to do such kind of exercise. And we do design workshop as well. regular design workshop we keep doing. So there are many areas where we already thought of something or conceptualized, and then we put into practice. So any new design which comes to us, we do a little R&D, we understand the project, and then we conceptualize the project. But our overall try is to do and work with the minimalism. So when I'm talking about minimalism, it is not absolutely kind of nothing doing, but needful design and functional design. If you attempt functional and needful design, and the aesthetic or any extra would be needful, then you can say that design is a minimal design. So that is how we conceptualize our design, and each and every project is a process. So from day one, we hardly do any concept from day one, but the concept come gradually, and we are open for new ideas. We are open for all new thoughts, and we nurture the thoughts. We understand that thought. We actually work and debate a lot on any of the thoughts, and finally we conclude any concept with our team. It is not my decision, but it's a decision of my team, myself, and the client together. So we are a little open. We are not stubborn that this is what my idea is and I'm going to follow this only. But we evaluate each design concept and we then conclude for any of the project. I appreciate this magazine because other than all other interior designing magazine, there are a lot of, and the most important is the focus of the magazine, and which is really good. I mean, when I'm talking about the focus, when it has been named as surface reporter, you are actually focusing more on the envelope of any material, or envelope of interior designing material or architectural materials, and you try to give good justice to it, and that is really eye opener for many readers, and that is the need of the time, because you are talking about the characteristic of the material, you are talking about the aesthetic value of the material and the availability and the vendors, along with good project which is regularly showcasing in a magazine. The printing quality is really good. The size also matters a lot. It is good to keep magazine in the hand, because the size, the printing quality, the paper quality is good, and the content, which is the most important. So I believe that you should stick to what you're doing. Best wishes as always. Architects or the designer who are really inspiration in my life, there are many, lot of people. But most important is, I believe, Geoffrey Baba is one, Tada Wando is one, and Sandeep Khosla from the Indian designer. Because when we are talking about Geoffrey Baba, it is absolutely nature-oriented works, and it is well connected with the nature, and that is what is deeply inspired me to change my thought process. Tada Wando is for the minimalism and what one can do without doing many things, at the time. And then it is truly inspiration to understand the spaces and the masses, just not the decor. And Khosla, I must say, because he's having a warmth in his design, truly Indianness, but at the same time, true warmth in his design. So more or less, I believe that these three people are really key for my thought process, and a lot of inspiration from. And of course there are many more which we keep on looking forward. At the same time, we study the young designer, we study the senior designer, and many more all across us. But as you are asking me particular names, so these three designers who have really influenced in my design journey. In new normal also, the things will be same, be functional, and that is what we keep saying, not in this time but earlier also. If our design is full of functionality, if our design is related to the need, if our design is not only for the aesthetic purpose but for the functionality to serve, then it will add the value to enter anything else. So I believe that, according to me, there is no new normal. According to me, functionality was earlier and functionality is now. The nature of functionality might be changed a bit, like the kind of spaces what we were creating. In that case, the congestion was okay, but now in new normal, the congestion has to be removed. The space to be more airy and open. The space to be more ventilated. The space should be more cheerful. And the connection with outdoor is more appreciable now. But for interior designing, if you can say, the things is been given with the given premises, the given space. So I believe if we stick to the functionality, aesthetic is also important, but sometimes, as a designer, we put lot of importance or lot of stress on the aesthetic, and number of times we forget the functionality. We kill or we sacrifice the functionality, and that is what happened earlier also. So in this new time, I believe that will be eliminated, be functional oriented, and aesthetic should be part of it. But according to me, the functional design with good and balanced aesthetic will be the new normal. Product is respective. As I've told you, we select any product based on the need of the project. The same thing which I can repeat is that how you are nurturing the product, whichever you are selecting. So it is the important of how to attend that product and what to select. So product is based on the budget, product is based on the need, product is based on the nature of the project which we are doing, and we are open for any product, frankly. But most of the time, we normally see that it should be, price conscious. The product shouldn't be quality compromised at any given point of time, but it should be price conscious for sure. Because a good designer can convert any good quality product, but not needed to be very expensive, but they can convert into the best based on the use of the product. So the answer is again a little tricky, or I can say very, very general, but we are not bounding ourselves to select any product. We are actually open to all the product based on the need of the nature, the need of the aesthetic, or the need of the functionality. We are open for all the materials normally, but mostly I believe that the material which are really age-old material, which is kind of liking to me, and I wanted to explore more and more the core material as our design and many design practice is working on. We are working a lot on exposed concrete as a core material, and we are doing a lot of experiment with the material. At the same time, all material with the Indian palette and the Indian stones like Kota stone, Jaisalmer, white marble, IPS, cemented flooring. Because I believe that wherever you are living, your roots are connected well with your materials, and we do respect all the imported materials and new age material. But at the same time, over the period of time, we have understood that people are more connected with the rooted material, and that is what they are gaining the experience, and they are having lot of good association with. So the material which is having a core value, the material which is native, the material which is surrounded by you, that is the kind of material that I wanted to explore more, and we are doing so. We are doing a lot of experiment with such materials. Concrete, we have done a lot of experimentations. We have actually articulated concrete. Concrete is kind of bare material. It is little brutal material, but we have added art in the concrete. We have added texture in the concrete, and we have explored concrete with a little newer technology. At the same time, we have not worked only with the concrete. We have blended the concrete with the lighter material, and that is what is giving good balance between material to the brutalness of the concrete or the gloomy impact of concrete, and then it is well blended with the kind of white or other brighter material. Or if I'm talking about the Kota stone, we have worked on a lot of texture in Kota. We have worked with multiple color Kota, and tried a different pattern in Kota that is giving a different dimension to the same material. So white marble is also one of my favorite, and which is from India. I'm not against of any Italian marble or the material which is normal we are procuring from other countries. But my first choice is definitely the Indian material. But we are open for all the materials, as I've told you, and it is very contextual. It varies from site to site and need of the site. So we respect almost all the material, but my first choice is kind of our Indian material and the core material. Many projects are really special to me, but few five, if I wanted to talk, then I can talk about one which we have recently finished, Dr. Nene's residence. Dr. Nene's residents, when they have approached us, the lady, Suchitra Nene, she was an absolutely passionate lady for her house. And her dream was her house, which is actually reflecting her image and her dreams, her, lot of wishes. They have traveled all across the world and they wanted the house which actually absorbs them. It is little far from their clinic and it is little outskirt of Baroda, and the house is actually nested in 75,000 square feet of area. It is full of green, and they wanted to respect the green around. And that is a house which is really special to them. It was really fun working with them because, as I've told you, we are working less, but we are working with the client who is having really good passion and they know that why they have connected with us. So the fortunate part is the philosophy, what we are working with, they are absolutely matching with what they wanted. This house is, kind of design of two tube, this two rectangular tube, which is uh, connected with a passage, and passage is such which is connected to all the areas like bedroom, dining, family room, living room. On the other axis, like the horizontal axis, two tubes are like vertical axis. If you can talk, then the perpendicular is a passage. And once these two tubes are actually falling in front of two amla tree, which is there on the side, and which is the kind of focal point of when you open up this tube with the grill. This is very inward looking house, we can say, but it is absolutely perforated from inside, because though the house is not exposed to outside much, but whenever you want you can definitely connect with outside the way you want. When you enter to the house, and you can see the outdoor, because there is one axis which is falling, and this axis is directly looking forward to the backside of the patio. You enter in the passage. After that passage, there is a Zen garden which is open to sky, and then you can go to the living room which is falling to the outside patio lately. At the same time, on the other axis of the passage, there is three bedroom on one side with the one open court, and family room and dining and owner's kitchen and the parent room on the other side. Why I'm saying this house is very special to me, because it is actually made with all the basic material. The nature of the materials are really humble. The house is having certain magnitude, but the nature of the material is absolutely humble. It is a plaster with the wavy surface. The flooring is Kota and Jaisalmer, combination of Kota and Jaisalmer. Each tube, which is one tube, is having a family room, dining, kitchen on one side, and another tube is having two bedrooms. And these tubes are having a cotton steel screens. These perforated cotton steel grills are having a magical effect, because they are not allowing the, only the purpose of safety, but at the same time the sunscreen is nicely screened within that screen, and it is creating a magical impact overall. At the same time, it gives a nice breeze of air. When you open up the screen, you are fully connected with the outdoor. So overall, this house is a nice journey with the passionate client, as I've told you, and which is the most important, according to me, is having soul is reside within. House 2, or the project 2, which I can say, again the similar kind of project. The client again is from the background of a different subject. They are into courier service, but every time they come to me and I say, let's do it. I'm not in hurry. But after a year or so, they requested me to visit the site. And when I visited the site, I said, I'm doing this work at any cost. The reason behind is the plot size is only 9,000 square feet, and it is little awkward shape of T shape, and it is the combination of three plot together. But the most important part in that is there were 20 grown trees within that 9,000 square feet. And that was a real challenge to us. Once we got this, yes, this is a challenge to us. And I said, I'm doing this project in any case. We took almost 6 months to finalize the floor plan. But finally, we have worked out in a way that we have saved 17 trees out of 20, and few three trees which we have to shift is because of they were not, we were not able to enter in the plot otherwise, and we have shifted those three trees to their farmhouse. But the most important is the house is kind of perforated. There are all these trees are cuddling to the house, like they are hugging the house and they are pampering to the house, and that is what the best part of this house is. This house is made on many concepts. The most important is the hard outside. The shell is hard, which we are actually comparing this house like a coconut shell. So the hard outside, which is made out of exposed concrete and brick as the basic material, and the warm inside, which is the kind of pulp inside our inside the coconut. So once the journey has been started from outside, it is a hard, or the core, sorry, not the core but the shell, which is made out of exposed concrete, textured exposed concrete and exposed brick, and the inside is warmed with the Jaisalmer, Eta gold, and Galicha tiles, which is our old Indian pattern, and few areas is been treated with the Kota stone as well. The entire house is, as I've told you earlier, is getting light from outside, penetrating light in a way that it is not too much of light, but as needful light as possible, and it is very warm from inside. So once the people are traveling through the house, it is having one kind of peace which one can feel. The furniture and every aspect is as absolutely bare, needful, not anything which is excess. There are certain areas which is giving a different dimension in terms of, I can say, the home theater or the spa toilet on the top floor, or the dining area, double heighted dining area, and the puja area and the passage. There is one very interesting area which is kind of courtyard, and this courtyard is kind of falling on the north side, having a mango tree resides over there. And this we are considering as the family area, because most of the time the family members, they are actually spending their time during morning and evening, the maximum time over there. There are dog houses which we have made, that is also falling in that area, and that is a really good area. So it is actually not the built mass, but the mass which is there, which is open to sky. It is under roof, underneath of this mango tree, and that is a real good area, which is, we can say, as a family room. So I believe this is one of the area which one of the house, or which is one of the project which I really love, and the client is really again passionate, because they have not interfered in our work at all. Every time whenever I ask them that, Amit bhai, what do you say about this, would you like to go with this design, or what do you say, and every time his answer is, depend by, if you like it, please do it, don't ask me. And I tell you, this is the kind of faith which we are always seeking for with number of clients. But the good house or the good project happened only and only because of the good faith and the good teamwork, and the people who are working on the team on site. They are really competent enough, and they are working hand to hand with each other, and then only good project is possible. And that is why this is one more is a dear project to me. I can talk one more project is about a commercial project. It is an electronic showroom in the city of Anand, which is nearby to Baroda, 45 kilometers from Baroda. And the client is came with the faith, because we have worked with them for their house earlier, and they have blind faith on us. So they wanted to make their flagship store, Sanket India, in Anand, and the size of the store is about 37,000 square feet. For electronic, this is the size which is never there in India till date. But both the brothers, Sanket and Mehul, is absolutely carrying passion, because they wanted to make their flagship showroom. They had their 10, 12 showroom all across Gujarat, and in their own city, they wanted to make this flagship store. The site is very linear. We have made a building of about 1 lakh square feet, which is holding their showroom. At the same time, there is few other showroom which is for the sale and to rent out, and the office building on the top of it. Normally, in commercial or in the retail, the first object is maximum showroom, or the maximum area of the showroom is to be visible from outside, because the window display is the most important. And here we wanted to make climatic responsive building, and at the same time we wanted to make building with you know energy conservative and passive cooling. which is our most important aspect. And we have covered this building from all these three sides, east, west, and south. Main facade of the building is falling in the east direction, but we have covered east. And we have dared to do this because the client was having faith on our vision. We have opened up the window only in the north, and the pop-up cross angle is been turned out, fetched out from the linear mass into the north direction, and we have got maximum and ample adequate light from the north. Rest all these three direction, east, west, and south, has been well covered. The most important part when we are actually covering up showroom from the roadside, when we are talking about the retail, we have to make the building which is really iconic in all terms. If you can see the picture, the building is really iconic, and nowadays it is the point of visit in the Anand city, because everyone who is visiting Anand, they are actually taking their guests to this building, and the campus has been turned out so nice, though, so that the people are spending a lot of time over there. If you can see the interiors, the double heighted entry volume is actually carrying major merchandising, and that has been treated with bare gray of the concrete. But at the same time, we have actually played with a lot of pop-up colors. And this lot of pop-up colors is been introduced looking to the rural visitors or rural client of the showroom, because we wanted to make this showroom comfortable to everyone. We wanted to deal with the newer edge design and newer style and minimalism, or we can say the modernism. But at the same time, we wanted to make it very vibrant, because the product itself is all gray, silver, and white. All the electronic products are majorly in these three palettes. So we do not want showroom to be little over boredom in terms of very limited material color. So that is why we have played with a few pop-up colors, and that is giving a different dimension to entire areas. And the double-eyed volume has been well treated with the acoustic panel in the ceiling, which is red pop-up, red triangular cage, which is serving the purpose of acoustic control in the double-eyed volume. The glass bridge is one of the USP of the area, and the play of graphic, because many surfaces which we have kept very bare with the plaster only, and that surfaces has been then treated with the vinyl graphic, which is covering a large area, but at the same time saving a huge cost on treatment of wall, because the volume of the walls and every surfaces is quite huge. So as a designer, we have to take care all this consideration, and we have actually proven our point with saving a lot of energy in terms of air conditioning and lighting, because the data says that they are saving more than 30-40% in routine days. So that is what one more achievement which we have achieved with. If I can talk about one more project of ours, is our my own weekend house, which we are talking about as which we have named as Nirant. When I'm talking about Nirant, is kind of zero down yourself. Nirant is ease of yourself, nothing doing, or to get relaxed. It's a Gujarati word which is Nirant. And if you can you know do a journey to this particular house, it is absolutely kind of feel of soulfulness, feel of inwardness, feel of your cuddling and cozy impact. The area which right now I'm sitting with is again a part of Nirant, and I really love to be here at maximum time. The most important feature is there is a no client, and that is the biggest challenge, because when you are client of yourself, you are always struggling with lot of ideas, and there is a different kind of challenge, because there is always a cost connection, and there is always you have to see that how you can do your things and prove your point. So the house is absolutely inward looking house. There is a huge dead wall which is facing to southwest direction, and it is been closed and cutting the strong sun heat, because Gujarat and Baroda particularly is very hot and dry. So our temperature in summer reaches up to 44 degrees centigrade. So in that terms, we have to be very careful about all these aspects. So we have done a cavity wall, 18-inch thick cavity wall in facing to uh, southwest, and one pop-up window which is coming out in the home theater area. There is the only connection to outside and few slate windows, but rest of the area has been covered. And the precisely this design has been done keeping in mind the introvert or the introvert house, introvert spaces. Because what I understand is whenever I wanted to come here, I wanted to, be in cocoon by myself. I wanted to aloof from the world. I wanted to narrow down myself. And that is what the purpose is, and that has been served. This is very, very basic house. Again, with the treatment is with textured plaster wall on the southwest area. An entire house has been treated with the mala plaster, directly painted white surfaces, and the floor is IPS, Indian pattern stone, which is old technique, and we wanted to experiment with this floor. One of my friend from Auroville helped me, and he sent me the labor from Auroville, and we have experimented 16 color chart at one of our area, and then we have selected few out of 16, and we have tried 4 or 5 colors in the overall flooring, and now we have took a lot of pain to do this that flooring, but particularly now that has been turned out one of the best in I mean, I can say, because every visitor is actually fall in love with this flooring, because though it is a very, very basic flooring, it's IPS, which has been old technique used in India, but people feel connected. That is the best part of it. And most of the areas are having very, very basic and simple furniture, needful furniture, nothing much. Few Indian cloth has been adopted in terms of paneling in the exposed slab to control the acoustic, and that is very, very important. The paintings behind me, and you can see many other painting, and the pictures are all black and white in the living room. Few other areas are having little more vibrant painting, which is through very renowned artist of Baroda. So overall, this project, where I've told you that the client is myself, and it was a real challenge to satisfy yourself with your design. I think I'm done my job pretty good, because I'm really happy even after 7 years now. One more project which I can talk about is one office for a developer. Most of the project, when I'm talking about, is again the client plays a major role. Why I'm saying, because the faith of the client, which allows you to do a lot of experiment. And this particular office which I'm talking about is an office for a developer, which we were knowing that this, because the building which they have developed, that has been designed by us, and they were knowing right from beginning that they wanted to do their own office on the top floor. So at the time of construction, we have actually made a nice rice pearl kind of cutout in the slab, and we thought that we will attempt that a little later at the time of actual design of the office, but we were not knowing how. But we have just kept one cutout in the center. Then later on, that is become the USB of this entire office. Because at the time of designing, what we have done is the central area, which we have actually treated as a kind of outdoor. And we have played with blue oxide flooring in that center area, which is representing ocean and the sky together. Because the sky is well connected from the cutout from above, and the floor is kind of um ocean blue kind of color, which is the blue oxide paint. So that is the area where anyone from the office can come and have interaction with any outsider, or they can have their relaxing time within that office. Sometimes you never understand that how the things been well connected, but every moment that center area has been changing there, its character, because of the sunlight falling over there. The sunlight is playing a major role. There is a pergola which we have played with, and that pergola is giving a different dimension to that area. The side of that center area is having all the offices and the CEO cabin, the cabin for the staff, canteen, and everything. And after that area, there is a kind of terraces, the garden terrace, which is falling all across. So this is also very interesting office with play of lot of. Okay, I'm talking to you now is one office for a developer. And again, I've told you that the most important is the client's faith on the designer and the design practice and the philosophy. So this client also have worked earlier, and then they had a good faith on us. They have developed the building which is holding their office. So at the time of designing, we have only designed their office, and then at the time of designing, we have actually left a cutout in the slab on the top floor. This is the USP of this entire office. The cutout is actually absolutely, it's a rice pearl kind of shape, and it is falling in the center of the office. This center we have actually designed as a recreational area or connection within outside. So it is the well blend of inside outside in the center, and we have actually played with blue oxide flooring, which is again an experiment over there. So blue oxide IPS flooring, which is giving a feeling of ocean, and it is well connected with the sky above. So this is the area which is a USP of this office, where in entire daytime there is a lot of variation of sunlight, and every minute it gives a different dimension to that area. This is the area where every one of the office member, they come and relax themselves, or they do some meeting over there, and it is a kind of interactive space within. All other offices are falling side of this open cutout area, and there is a floating terraces kind of green area after that cabin. The layout will share with you, and the layout is clearly showing the connection of indoor and outdoor. All other areas which is muted gray, but it is well blended with the kind of bold blue which we have used in the center. So we are always asking the question, is the blue bold or cool? And it's a mixed answer. Of course, the blue is bold, but it is pretty cool. So that is one of the area which we loved it. And again, a kind of very simple aesthetic, but the overall play of material and experiment in the old techniques has turned out very nice. Again, most of our project, when we are talking about, the art is playing a major role, because I always believe the art is soul of your entire environment, and that is what we believe into. And most of project we wanted to associate it well with the art, and which has been curated uh, within the many show which we are actually attending, or we are in connection with many artists, or some good collection from the client number of time, and that is what is the real USP of project, which I understand. So as a designer, we wanted to try and respect whatever is available, nature, surroundings, and the wish and the dream of the client, and that is how we can achieve some good result.